any barrier for you, or is it equally as stinging now as it was when you were younger?
With the word nigger?
The N-word. Yes.
I wouldn't say that it is equally, but that it still brings up those emotions of being oppressed. It's not as it's not as strong, hurtfully as strong now as it was then. I was really militant when I was in high school, and but now I'm a little more mature, and I see how people act. I've lived in the South. I live in the Midwest in a area that's 90% predominantly white.
Yeah.
And so you have to play the game to survive. You know, when I lived in Atlanta, I didn't have to, but here I do. But no, just to go back to that, no, it doesn't affect me as much, but it still affects me.
Yeah.
You know, it's more about the intent, not about the word itself. It's the intent.
Right, exactly. What about...
I hate when other black people use the N-word. I hate that. I'm like, because the thing is, I'm black, I use it, and it's unfortunate, and I don't use it a lot, but I will throw one out real quick, and it's unfortunate, and it's in poor taste for me, because that's not who I am or who I want to put out there, because that's the argument getting now is people saying, well, black people use it, you know,
right.
Black people say the word, you know, and they'll say about gay people. We call each other fags and girls and queens and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that I had on a comment today on one of the Paula Deen things, somebody said, oh, so if she were making a rap song and she were black, it'd be okay. I'm like, well, she's a Southern white woman, not some black urban guy talking about his own race. I mean, it's not the same thing. And I understand what people mean, that there seems to be double standard, which is something else I wanted to talk about, because people say, okay, it's okay for a black person to say nigger, but it's not okay for a white person to say. Well, you're right, it's not. I mean, I don't get why that's a difficult connection, you know?
But I never say it in mixed company. I never say it in mixed company.
No.
I'm with my family or friends, and never in mixed company, because I don't want them to get so comfortable. I dated a guy who thought he was black, and he thought he could say the N-word to me. I'm like, you can't say that. You know, and I don't care how black I'm black, and he would say, well, I'm blacker than you, because he spoke with more of a urban dialect than I did. Right. And so he thought he lived in a blacker area than I did when I lived in Atlanta, and he thought he could use that word with me. No, you can't use that with me. I'm sorry, partner. Get your shoes.
I agree with you. You know what, though? I was thinking about the F word. You know, I've been called faggot on BTR by Debbie Daly. Like, Debbie Daly said, one time she called me a faggoty-ass faggot once on her show. And and so it didn't hurt my feelings, but what happens when people say faggot to me, I don't get hurt. But it's insulted by the fact that they think they can talk to me that way. It's
exactly.
Not about the word. It's like, who the fuck? Like, she had said, "Get the fuck out of here, you fucking." I don't know whatever something else that was not as bad as faggot, but whatever. It still would have pissed me off, because I've been like, who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that? You know,
calling you out of your name. That's what I've been more insulted. You calling me out of my name. Don't address me like that. I don't care what you say. You can't address me that way. I feel you on that.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's, to me, so when people use the word faggot on BTR at me or in real life, which I really hear in real life, but wherever I hear it, that's what bothers me about it, is that they're so stupid and ignorant to be using it in the first place, with that word or the N-word. And that's what bothers me the most about it. It's not so much that it hurts my feelings as it is that I know in their mind that is such a horrible thing, and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to really piss this person off and really hurt their feelings. They're not hurting my feelings as much as they are making me feel sorry for them and think they're stupid for the most part. But
I think it goes back to the intent. It's what you intend to do by using that word to me. It's the intent. And that's what with nigger, with faggot, it's your intent, not the word itself, because words don't have power. Your intent does.
Right.
And that's how
right.
I see it. But I laugh people call me, because I call some of my friends fag please or girl go on. I don't like being called girl, though. I have a friend now that wants to refer to me as a girl. I'm like, I'm not a girl. I like all my male body parts. I love being a boy, but you can call me girl, but you can call me a fag. But these other ignorant people who think they can use that word to demean me, you're not. I'm a very strong-willed person. It takes a lot. Now, if somebody called me a fat nigga or a fat faggot, I might have a problem.
Be offended. That's hilarious. I don't use the word. First of all, I never, ever use the N-word. I just don't use it. It's not part of my vocabulary. Never have been, even in a colloquial way. I don't use it that way at all. Never have. But I think it's fine for people. I think it's a cultural thing. I don't, like I said,
totally.
so I think it depends on where you're from. But I don't use that word. I don't use the word faggot towards other people either. I mean, I just have no cause to use those words ever in my life. But it doesn't bother me if a black man or black woman is speaking to another black man or black woman in that colloquial way, not in a, like as you said, it's about the intent, not in a harmful or hurtful way. That's fine to me, because I think in a lot of ways, I think for the newer generation, it's a way for them to take back the word and take the power out of it. And I think that's really what it's about, for them. But I still don't like to hear it. I mean, I don't hear it in music. Like Nicki Minaj has a song that she says nigger in, and I every time I can't listen to the song because I like it, except that one part.
Okay, and they don't have to do it. They can rap or whatever without using the words. I think I have a bigger offense when rappers refer to a female as a bitch. That offends me more than nigger in a song. Bitch.
It's really a misogynistic. Yeah, it's really just kind of put women under their thumb and like, look, bitch, like that.
Exactly. It's degrading. It's all about intent, and that's do what you need to do. But I'm always going to say something. I'm always going to stand up if somebody says it. Even like I have a younger. You have to show you about this. A younger niece and nephew, and they don't. I've never heard them use the word because they've heard me or my sister use the word, but I've never heard them, which is good because that means that generation, like you said, has taken power from the word, and maybe some of the smarter ones are not embracing it and using it so freely.
Right.
Maybe.
I agree with you. Okay, well, that's good. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. As always, you calling in and giving me your 2 cents. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me talk.
Of course. I'm going to put you on mute. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye. All right, everybody. So we've got about 30 minutes left in the show. If you want to call in and you give your 2 cents, number 323-843-6160. I'll be right back.
I can lift you up. I can show you what you wanna see.
Sorry. Thanks for calling. Sorry, where am I? Thanks. Welcome back. Sorry, I was a little preoccupied right there. Yeah, so what are we talking about? Oh, yeah, we're talking about racism. And David, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was thinking that was Darling Nikki was somebody else. I was thinking that was Nikki Smokes a Lot. It was Darling Nikki, somebody different, sorry. That's why I said that. I thought you were just talking to her like that. Sorry. I didn't realize it was her until just now. That was awesome for her to be here. Tell her thank you. Anyway, so if you want to call into the show and give your 2 cents about what we're talking about tonight, the number is 323-843-6160. I'm happy to hear your side of the topic. So we've talked a lot tonight about the N-word and racism to some degree, and also about Paula Deen's predicament. But we didn't much about homophobia, and a lot of people compare the two, homophobia. Oh, we have somebody wants to say something. Hold on a second. What they want to say. 251, you're on the air.
Hi.
This would be Ray.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. I was just calling in about, I thought I just cracked up when y'all were talking about the whole, calling a woman a bitch thing. Yeah. It's kind of funny because it's almost like...
Compliment?
Yeah. It's become a compliment now.
Right.
It's become a, yeah, that's right, I'm a bitch. You can't fuck with me, type of mentality. I mean, hell, my boss calls me a bitch frequently,
Well, yeah, that's very true. And that's sort of like what we're talking about to some degree about taking power away from a word by using it with your own community or whatever. So I think that's somewhat what's happened with the word bitch. I think bitch at one point really was a real insult towards women. And I think you're right. Today, people like Tabitha Coffey, she's on a reality series, and I don't know if you know who she is, but anyway, they love being called bitch because they feel that means they're a strong, powerful woman. And I think that's what it means today. Is that what you consider yourself to be?
Well, after so many people told me that's what I was.
You're like, I must be. So what do you think about...
I pretty much got into a tiff at work at one point, and boss man told the guy, well, she's a bitch, but she's my bitch, so you're going to have to deal with her and buy her a cupcake.
Awesome. Well, are you, do you have anything to say about what we talked about earlier? Anything about, we talked about, actually the last show you were on, I think we talked about race on that show to some degree as well, but I just wondered what you thought about the whole Paula Deen debacle. What is your feeling on that thing?
Man, I just, I keep out of the loop. I stay in my own world, so yeah, I actually just found out about that when you said something. So I was like, wait a minute, what happened?
Right,
I mean, I have to say, I love her food. I love Southern food anyway, but I have to say I'm not a huge fan of her pots and pans. I have bought them, and they have not even lasted a year.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look cheap to me. I've seen them before in catalogs. I'm like, no, I wouldn't buy those. They look kind of cheap to me, so yeah.
Well, I mean, I got them I did not buy them at Walmart. However, taking a trip to Walmart, I realized they sold them there too, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. If it's sold at Walmart as well, it's probably not the greatest product. Not always, but sometimes. My advice to you, by the way, since we're talking about cookware, I bought a set of Calphalon about 5 years ago, and it's just the best thing in the world. I'll never have to buy it again if I don't want to. Calphalon's great. Try it.
Oh, I'm going to have to invest in something else because this shit from her is falling apart. And I don't even put it in the dishwasher. I hand wash the shit, and it still falls apart. I'm like, how does that happen?
It's made in China, I'm sure. I'm sure it's made in China. Of the best crap they had, but anyway. Go ahead.
I don't know. I guess until I just heard about it, my brain's been whirling around, and I don't know. It's one of those. Did she? I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know what her intent